but probably not ideal for Tyson Fury, who really needs to listen to one instruction and one instruction only.
This is Danica Film for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined via Zoom by Spencer Oliver. Spencer, 10 o'clock, you've been out, you've got the dog walked, now you're sat talking to me. Starting the week off right.
Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely, mate. Listen, it's been a hectic week, mate. Yeah, loads going on, man. I'm off to Poland later on today as well for Lawrence Okoli, and Lucas Rozansky. So that should be good fun over there as well. But yeah, it's been absolutely mental, mate. And what a week last week, eh? What a week on Saturday night.
Yeah, we've got obviously so much could potentially talk about, but we're a bit pushed for time. So keep it to the big one. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. First and foremost, Spencer, I think a lot of the times when we get a fight of this magnitude, thinking maybe Mayweather, Pacquiao, in the ring, it can disappoint a bit, but I feel like this was almost the opposite. I think a lot of people were predicting a fairly technical fight and turned out to be a bit of a classic.
Absolutely. Listen, Dan, like many others, I thought that this would be a chess match. I thought, with the magnitude of this fight, what was on the line, the undisputed first time in 25 years, you're thinking, you know what, these guys are going to go out there, they're going to feel each other in. Oleksandr Usyk is a slow starter anyway, and you think that he would just try and work Fury out. Fury wouldn't engage because he would use his height and his reach, and you thought that was the way it was going to go. But how wrong could we have been? Oleksandr Usyk was the hunter straight away. He went out there, he put the pressure on Fury, which may have surprised him a little. And I thought that Usyk actually had the better start of the two. I thought that, he was closing the gap, he was closing the range, he was getting his foot on the outside of Tyson Fury and landing that left hand through the middle, which is, the classic shot for a southpaw. So yeah, I thought it was a great performance from both guys. Was surprised at the way that it went, and it was an absolute barnstormer. It really was.
So talk about the start Usyk made. I think a lot of people have seen this as a fight of, either two halves or three thirds. Just get to the sort of big question, Spencer. A lot of people thought that it was close, and then a lot of people thought Usyk ran away with it. What side of the fence would you say you sit on, or do you think Fury could have nicked it?
No, definitely not. I thought that Oleksandr Usyk ran away with it. If I'm totally honest, I think he had the better start. First 3 or 4 rounds, I thought he was quite. That they were competitive rounds, but I thought Usyk was doing the better work. He was doing the more eye-catching work. He was landing that left hand through the middle. He landed a good uppercut in there as well. And yeah, I thought that he had the dominant start. Then Tyson Fury started working it out from round 5. Fury then started pushing on a little bit, landing good shots. He landed a big uppercut, good body shots as well. And I thought Fury sort of turned it around, and you thought, is he going to now run away with it? After Oleksandr Usyk had a good start, 5, 6, 7, 8, all went to Tyson Fury. He dominated those middle rounds. Usyk was looked out of sorts. He was hurt a couple of times. Then we get that round 9, that classic, where Usyk landed a big left hook over the top, if you like, that sort of stunned Fury. Fury went back on the ropes. And then Usyk done what he does so well. He puts those shots together, man. He throws punches in bunches like the heavyweights don't do, and it was Tyson Fury was lucky to get through the round. He was lucky the bell rang when it rang. If I'm totally honest, he's actually lucky the ropes kept him up. And also, just before the ref jumped in to intervene to give him that count, he was just about to let another left hand go. A lot of people would have let that shot go, and that would have finished the fight. But fortunately for Fury, he didn't. But from that time on, I don't think Fury recovered. I think that then Usyk won round 10, won round 11, and round 12 on my scorecards. I thought he was doing the clearer work, the cleaner work. I know Tyson Fury was showboating a little at the end, and he felt he was a little bit unlucky that he didn't get the decision. But for me, it was a fight where Usyk dominated the beginning, Fury dominated the middle rounds, and Usyk come back and does what he does best. That's when he really turns the screw. Anthony Joshua was saying that. He said, look, going into round 9 or going into round 10, it was pretty level on the scorecards, but Oleksandr Usyk turns a screw. He goes up a level. And I think that's what won him the fight here.
Just a couple more quick ones on the fight, Spencer, because I know you do have to go. Before the fight, a lot has been discussed about Tyson Fury's training situation, and after the fight, that's a topic that's been pretty fervent on social media as well. There's been a clip doing the rounds of John Fury, Sugar Hill, Andy Lee, all seemingly talking over each other, giving conflicting instructions. Just as a former fighter yourself and someone who's been around the sport a long time, I mean, it doesn't seem ideal in the biggest fight of your life.
No, you want one voice going in, like, when, like, again, when you got a fight of that magnitude and with what's on the line, and the fight was swinging back and forth, and there was ways that the fight was going. You need to listen to one instruction and one instruction only. Otherwise, it starts getting all a little bit confusing. Like, there's a lot going on in there. There's a lot of punches being landed, so you need your focus. And yeah, it's maybe not the best corner work. I understand what they were doing because emotions run high. People, the trainers, the fathers, the seconds, they're all invested in this because of what it was. So I understand what happened there. I understand the situation, but probably not ideal for Tyson Fury, who really needs to listen to one instruction and one instruction only.
Is that always going to be a concern when you've got someone with the emotional investment of a father in the corner, do you think?
Yeah, fathers always do. Like, Daniel Dubois, another one where his dad jumps up, he screams from the corner. That genuinely happens with fathers, and you can understand that. When they're blood and what's on the line, you can understand the fathers do get involved, but it is a concern because I think they need to leave the job to the trainer. That's what people are employed for. That's what they get paid good money for. And I think that's important. For fighters in the future, they see that and they go, listen, you have to have your lead trainer giving you the instructions. You can't be taking. They can talk about that in between rounds. If the father wants to say something, go up and say something to the trainer and let him give the instructions if you agree with it. But listening to all the voices coming in is not a good thing.
Last one, Spencer, because I appreciate you have to go. We've got a rematch clause in place. I mean, I think there's a deal already agreed for a potential second fight in October. I'm already seeing a lot of people on social media saying that could potentially be a bit on the sharp side for Tyson Fury. What do you think about the prospect of a rematch in October? Is it the logical fight to make? Do you think that date's realistic? Give me your thoughts on all that and the potential
Yeah,
second.
definitely, mate. Definitely. Look, we're in May now. October is definitely realistic. Neither guy come out seriously damaged. I think it was a hard contested fight, and yeah, they will need to rest and recharge the batteries a little bit. But there was no serious damage done. So why not? I think it was. Yeah, I think that they could go back and do it again. Definitely, October seems to be a good date. I mean, there are other options for Tyson Fury. I would look at it from Tyson Fury's point of view and go, right, do I go into the immediate rematch of Oleksandr Usyk, or do I now potentially look at a fight which would still be a fight that's got a big appetite with Anthony Joshua? Because, both guys losing to Oleksandr Usyk, maybe them two fight and the winner fights Oleksandr Usyk again. Because what I'm saying is, as in from a business point of view, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Wembley Stadium, something like that, would be a huge fight, with the winner possibly fighting Oleksandr Usyk. But I understand the obligations and I understand that there is a rematch clause in there. Joshua probably going to fight the winner of Filip Hrgovic, Daniel Dubois. That will possibly be for the IBF title, Wembley, September. So there's so many moving parts at the moment in the heavyweight division. But really, Tyson Fury will want to go over old ground because he will want to revenge that loss. Like Lennox Lewis, who only lost 2 fights in his career, but the 2 fights he lost, he went and avenged those losses, Oliver McCall and Hussein Rahman. So he goes down there and you go, that's why he's got that legacy. He's cemented his legacy, Lennox Lewis. And I think Tyson Fury will probably want to do the same. Because as we speak, the best heavyweight of the modern era is Oleksandr Usyk by a standout, and Tyson Fury will want to, he'll want to get that position back.
I know I said last one, but it feels wrong not to have a word on Alexander Usyk. I mean,
Yeah.
in your time covering the sport, watching the sport, being involved in the sport, how highly do you rank him, not just amongst heavyweights, but amongst, all the fighters we've seen?
But right now, he will go down as the pound for pound best fighter in the world, and that's including Terence Crawford. I think you got to look at it and go, like, what he's achieved, undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, moving up to heavyweight, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the way that he moves as a heavyweight, the engine that he's got as a heavyweight, the way that he puts his shots together, and what he showed us against not just Anthony Joshua, where he put Joshua on the back foot and whatnot. He'd done it against Fury as well. 6'9", great big guys, 18 and a half stone, coming maybe too light, if I'm honest, Tyson Fury, but that's another conversation. But I think that what Oleksandr Usyk proved is that he's got that toughness. The question marks were answered over whether he was vulnerable, whether he didn't like to be put, whether he didn't like it when the heat was put on him. But he answered all the questions. He dealt with it and he come back and his answer, his response was by putting the shots together. I think that technically He's probably one of the best heavyweights that's ever lived out there, and I think he'll go down as an all-time great. He's got to on his achievements and what he's achieved.
Special fighter for sure. Spencer,
Yeah,
always good to speak to you, be it
yeah,
in
you too,
person or
Dan.
via Zoom. Shout out TalkSport Bet for putting the interview together. You can check out their links below. And yeah, like, you get on with your day, mate. Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers for that, Danny.